Hey, what's up? This is Pop Sizzle Bang. In 2008, I was diagnosed with a mental health condition because I was hearing voices. I had also developed two very strong obsessions with Hollywood and the apocalypse. This evening, I've used ChatGPT to generate over 30 questions to answer in something of a lightning round to see how I stack up currently as like the reigning champion of the apocalypse. What prophecy, if any, do you believe you are fulfilling? I feel like I could be fulfilling the prophecy of the first witness, but that guy only like is active for 3.5 years, and I've been active for a lot longer than that. Also, I know that I read the scroll that activated the seven seals that started the apocalypse. Can you demonstrate a miracle or supernatural sign right now? No. When I was a teenager, I'd read that the Messiah cannot perform miracles, only the Antichrist can perform miracles in the apocalypse. What is your message to the world and how does it differ from previous messianic figures? Abraham was like, if there's 20% that are worthy of forgiveness, we should forgive all of them. Moses was like, I have liberated you through the power of our gods. Follow these laws. I think that the Messiah that is supposed to be coming right now is the Jewish hero of lore, Messiah ben David. But just like David going before the throne when he was only small, I feel like the Messiah ben David should be Gentile born. He has to suffer for most of his life, probably the 37 years that David was in power or held his throne. And he would be like a second generation, half Gentile exile from the very bottom so that he could lead from the top. Like it would be about him, right? Like that's the thing, is it would be about me. Like as much as I love how much I can like affect other people and do such a good like switch up on the world, like when given the opportunity to do so, it's really all about like my story for me, right? Like 80% of that is my story. The original David killed all of his treacherous and reclaimed his kingdom by killing his treacherous, including like his brothers and his best friend and his own son. I'm familiar with cutting people out of my life, exile or something. Who do you believe opposes you and why? For starters, the beast opposes me. The whore of Babylon probably isn't going to like me much either. The Jewish Chaya will oppose me because she is an arrogant bitch who deserves to be cut in half in Turkey and tossed into the lake of fire. But she is also a sacrifice. She's our greatest sister, and we lose her at the end when we cut her in half and toss her into the lake of fire. Euphrates probably doesn't like me very much. Any way you slice this, it's Willow Rosenberg. The righteous priest, he's the villain. How do you interpret your role in the context of modern society? Once I figure out how to manage all of my personal problems, I will be able to pass on the knowledge that could be required for other people who need to work on their personal problems that are similar or the same as mine. And then I will be able to take on other people's problems, as well as taking on higher leveled problems than the ones that I had before, but that are still my own. And eventually I'll just be able to solve everyone's problems all over the world, hopefully in like large groups and in an order that doesn't descend into madness and chaos. Also, most of us are going to hell by the time we turn 27, so my sacrifice on the crucible of David has permitted us entryway into like the heavens or a paradise. Have you been tested or tempted in a way that proves your divinity? Yeah, and if you hadn't guessed it already, I usually fail. I'm just kidding. I have proven my divinity, but I rage quit and like ass face a lot. And what is your stance on wealth, power, and material possessions? The more the merrier, buddy. If you're working hard or you've worked hard like all your life or just like the last like 3 years or even the last like 6 months and you want to like spend your money on something, like fucking go for it, man. If you're poor and someone like dismisses you in a way that makes you feel like incredibly like shameful, but they like don't do it like innocently. They do it like in a way that makes them kind of like guilty before like my throne. Like, we're watching those people. The power belongs to the Jewish. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The power belongs to like anyone who earns it, obviously. But it's not easy to come by. If someone rejects you, how do you respond? I believe that I respond the way that I'm meant to respond. I don't really protest it. I go silently, right? To like the slaughter. How do you define salvation and how can people achieve it through you? Dude, like, there are so many great ways to achieve salvation. Obviously, I love Christianity, especially for the youth, but especially for old timers who need to find like the Lord. It's a mixed bag out there. But really, you just need to like achieve peace. Like 80% of the time has to be like peaceful. That's how you can feel saved, right? From like hell and the devils that live there. Do you have a plan for what happens if you are wrong? I don't think my lifestyle would change much. I would continue to promote positive messages across the internet and hope that I can grab as many people out of like a dark place as possible, even if it's just to like entertain them for a little while, or also like to entertain them for a little while. Like, I would probably be more entertaining and less like profound or like biblical, like biblical. Like, that's what people are like when they read it. Maybe I am the first witness and I die and come back. Or maybe it's just me versus everyone else, okay? Maybe it's just me alone against everyone else. You ever think of that?